All right, Johnny B, UpsideDownDrafting.com. It's been a while. Golly, I have taken at least 20 some odd days since my last video, but it's been a busy life. It's a busy summer as we're moving into from my Dynasty Rookie draft. And who did I get here at the 9th round? I got this cat, Jordan Wilkins, running back Indianapolis. He's already in the press. It's not something you haven't heard yet. You probably know about him just like I do, but I guarantee you, if you have a Dynasty Fantasy Football League not drafted in May, I don't think you're going to get this guy in the 9th round like I did. So how it works in my league, it's a super flex 2 QB, right, with IDP, and there's premium positions like tight end and things like that that score more points to balance everybody out so that a linebacker, a tight end, a quarterback, respectively, to a running back would all balance out, essentially try to average out scoring the same week in a battle up against somebody else. But running backs are making a comeback. We all know that. We've seen the news. I've been doing this upside down drafting thing since 2013, so it's been about 5 years watching it, and it does come in waves. It's like real estate. It just kind of ebbs and flows. But I will say what you're going to want to do this year if you're doing an upside down approach is to throw darts at a guy like this. What round? I don't know. It's too early. It's May 26th. I can't tell you that yet. And you're not even drafting in redraft. So if you're listening to this, it's more of a dynasty play, trying to get rookies that I think have some big upside, big boom. A lot of this depends on Andrew Luck, but I'm assuming he's coming back, okay? So we'll go with that as we look down. But here's what I wanted to show you on my taxi squad right here. The taxi squad is a spot where it's only salient for rookies to be drafted. So, in other words, I get this question a lot. In my league right now today, if I go online and I add or acquire a fantasy football player from the waiver wire, and he happens to be a rookie as a free agent, on my waiver, I can't put him on my taxi. The taxi is solely, a special sacred ground. I like to think of the old Revolutionary Wars and stuff like that, where you have these different lines of people shooting the old rifles that you had to put, gunpowder in. This is like my future, man. These are the depths of my line that are going to battle. And some of the guys that I got right here that I'm really high on, I got Hines, okay? I got him in the 4th, 409. Nice thing about MFL.com, by the way, is it keeps track and tells you who drafted what where. I did get a couple questions that I want to address on the YouTube channel itself, and people were saying, well, how do you regulate or how do you monitor this taxi squad thing? Basically what I do as a commissioner is I'll go here and I'll just look at the years. And if I see anything in 2016, that's a red flag. Because in our league, you can only host or marinate or hide, whatever you want to call it, taxi squad rookies for 2 years maximum. And I like that rule because, number one, it makes you try to find the talent to stash deep. How about Deion Kane right here? Love him. I got him in the 7th. Okay. Another wide receiver I like here. Okay. So you get to throw darts at guys in your rookie draft. And I encourage you to do your rookie drafts early in May. A lot of people challenge me. They'll say, it's too early, like no one's into it. No one can do it. Well, the best of the best dynasty leagues do it that way. You should be rewarded for a guy like this that I got in the 4th round. I think his stock is starting to move up. I've even seen mocks where he's going in the 2nd round, maybe 3rd round. So this is why I value a May rookie dynasty draft way more than an August draft. And I take a look back at last year when we were dealing with Kareem Hunt, because projections early in May had him going late 2nd round, and all of a sudden, boom, by July, August, he's in the 1st round. So it's fun to play Dynasty when you make it so that the guys that do their research early in May should be rewarded. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited about this guy right here, and this is what the video is about, this Jordan Wilkins right here. Getting him in the 9th round was a shock in my league, and I'm trying to tell you, these people know what they're doing in this league, but things slip through the cracks because our rosters are so deep, and they're just so crazy that We have, linebackers, safeties. We've even added offensive linemen now. We keep track of the penalty yards and positive yards. We have punters now. I've never done punters, but we're doing it this year. And we're trying to kind of spice it up to where it's going to mimic the NFL. So that's why guys in my league like this are dropping, because there's so many positions that we start. But, what I'm trying to say here is, for a dynasty fantasy purpose, the running backs is what you're going to want to stockpile, just because it's a rich, healthy, fertile type of draft class. This is kind of what I'm doing this year, is changing my logo. I think it's funny watching all these movies like Top Gun, or just the other day I was watching Karate Kid, and you take the Iceman, okay, in the movie Top Gun. I mean, the guy's a badass, right? Ice cold, flies ice cold. But in the end of the movie, it's Maverick that, Hollywood celebrates. But we all know damn well in fantasy football, usually the guy like the Mavericks, they happen every once in a while, but it's usually the guy that's the steady Eddie, the shark, the really good fantasy owner that usually, statistically will rise to the top. And that's kind of what my philosophy is. Be like Iceman, be like, Johnny Lawrence, because in the end, you're going to get guys that get lucky and beat you, but for the most part, you should be dominating your league, with the knowledge here, especially with some of the stuff we talk about, but just on your guys' own research. And that's kind of what I'm talking about here. Is I'm a big 49er fan, so I always say, if you're playing Dynasty, build like the Niners of old. Let's not get into crazy on these cheat sheet rankings. Be really wary of that. Make your own list. We've talked about this before. I think, there is a red tide out there. It's on Twitter. It's on YouTube. It's relative to the fantasy community, but you need to find this blue ocean right here. Okay? You need to go find guys that you're going to have a gut feeling over. And if you can get them early, like I have, you're going to do well. If you're new to the channel, I love Settlers of Catan. It's a board game. What is it? It's a German board game. I'm German. My family is whatever that means to you. But the thing is I love this game that came out years ago, and it has to do with trading, and it really coincides with Dynasty Fantasy Football because you're moving different puzzle pieces here in this game, and you're trying to build settlements and roads, but there's all these rules that are established where the only way you can make moves is the game of scarcity, okay? Those type of positioning skills make you have to trade, and so it makes you a better Dynasty Fantasy Football player, in my opinion. So I talk about that again if you're new to the channel. I did a quick, mock rookie draft. It's going to look like a lot of the other guys out there. Barkley, Penny. I'm pretty high on Penny. I know a lot of people aren't, because they're like, he can't pass block, and it's Seattle, and they throw the ball out. Yeah, I still think he's going to get a ton of PPR. I really like this guy, Jones, Tampa Bay. DJ Moore, obviously, you have to respect him on the Panthers. And then you got Freeman, who I'm a big fan of, Chubb. Sutton, who at one point earlier, in May, I was talking, he's like my number one wide receiver. But all of a sudden, this guy right here, Kirk, because he goes to Arizona now with Josh Rosen, they played in high school, so they have a good relationship, obviously, from the past. And I just think, like everybody else, Larry Fitzgerald's going to kind of fade away. He's going to teach him the tricks. Actually, this kid's known Larry Fitzgerald, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But I think it's changing of the guard for Arizona. So there's something to look at there with this Kirk guy. But there's kind of a good snapshot of what's going on with a couple mocks I've seen right now. It is early. It's only May. But back to the, the whole video here. I just think you've heard about him. You've heard some rumblings in the press, and I think they're all true. I think this guy could be somebody who can emerge. I don't know. Let's just say right now, Marlon Mack, something happens to him or things change in the scheme of the offense. Here's a guy I think you want to look at. Right now, again, in Dynasty rookie drafts, something to do in the meantime now. And if your league does draft later, don't worry about that. I'm not trying to suggest you change your whole motto. Like I said, you should be rewarded for getting guys like this early, because in the news I see his stock going up. The good news is for me, though, like I talked about, I already have his arch rival right here, Nyheim Hines. So it's Himes or Wilkins. Okay, Marlon Mack, yes, still there, but this is why I'm doing these videos. Let's try to be cognizant on people like this, and really zone in on why you're doing what you're doing with the running backs right now. Because again, if you are going to do an upside down drafting approach this year, which it could be beneficial. It's really funny. Everybody taking the runners early on leaves you all these awesome wide receivers in the strategy, and then boom, you hit gold on a guy like this or Hines. One guy I also got that I didn't mention here was John Kelly, and that's only because I own Todd Gurley. But I mean, to get him in the fourth too. I mean, my goodness, I got him and him in the fourth. I'm pretty excited with this whole thing. So Wilkins, Kelly, Hines, Johnny B, UpsideDownDrafting.com. I'll see you on the next show, man. Thank you guys for watching. Send me your questions. I'll be trying to put some more videos out. Sorry, this one lagged, but we got a lot of work to do between now and I'd say like July to get ready for your drafts and what you're gonna do. All right, talk to you later, man. Be good.